Great new day to our dear family and friends who are here. I welcome all of our dear radio listeners, for the viewers who are tuning into our live stream today, or for those of you who may be catching this on the replay. For those of you who don't know, I'm Shantae, better known as Life Coach 614, and I am absolutely delighted to have you here with us today as we set off on this new journey of self-care and well-being together. Before we dive into the heart of the matter, which is our topic for today, I want to just take a moment to establish a few ground rules and boundaries for our space. In order for us to maintain a harmonious atmosphere, we do have admins and moderators on both sides in the chat to help us. This space is dedicated to sharing, caring, and embracing each other's self-care paths. Now, your active participation and engagement during our sessions help us to cultivate the positive energy that we cherish here. So, we kindly ask that you consider your contributions with intention, understanding that all donations and subscriptions during our live streams directly support the Self-Care Club LLC, nurturing a ripple effect of positivity within our community. Your kindness fuels our mission, empowering us to continue to spread positivity with purpose. If anyone is seeking any additional details about the Self-Care Club LLC, or if you are ready to schedule your personalized one-on-one life coaching session, please visit theselfcareclub.org for more details. Again, that is selfcareclub.org. Now, together, let's make a commitment to transform this community into a nurturing and uplifting space for all. If you are ready to jump into today's new self-care adventure, please don't hesitate to drop some green hearts in the chat for me. Let the people know you are ready. Thank you, Kale. I see you. Miss Gloria, I see you. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. All month long, we have been discussing things to honor Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we've been sharing stories, exploring strategies for self-care and resilience. And so all of our discussions have been to, I guess, maybe shed light on the importance of mental health awareness. And so I'm glad that you guys are here today to join us as we continue to advocate for compassion, support, and destigmatization, creating a community where everyone, and I do mean everyone, feels heard and valued. All right, so all month long we've been selecting a word, and we've talked about just the basic definition of the word, and then as my brother says, y'all know I'm a little extra with it, so we've got to come up with an acronym and apply this word to our self-care, and apply this word as something that we can put some action behind, right? So y'all already know our word for today is purpose. Can I have you guys put purpose in the chat for me, please? Purpose. Purpose. Like, y'all should probably say it with all caps, because y'all know everything we do it with purpose. Purpose, y'all. Scream that thing. All right. So I found a quote when it comes to purpose, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with Ralph Waldo Emerson, but he said, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to have it make a difference that you have lived and lived well." I'm going to say it again. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, honorable, to be compassionate, and to have it make some difference that you've lived and you lived well. So when we think about purpose, it's not about perfection. It's not about achieving, some sort of happiness. Our purpose, when we do things and we start to walk in purpose, that fulfillment should mean that we've made a difference. We've impacted someone's life. And I would hope that we're out here trying to make a positive impact on people's lives, right? Like I tell you guys all the time, when I'm gone from this earth, I want the memories of me to be, I knew her. She made a positive impact on my life. She affected me in a positive way, right? Because that's the purpose that I seek. So when we think about purpose, as it is defined, purpose is defined as the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. It gives our lives direction and meaning. However, finding and living our purpose is not always straightforward. It requires introspection, understanding, and a commitment to continuous growth. So today I want to introduce to you guys a new framework that can help guide us towards living a more purposeful life. You know, when we think about this framework, of course, we're going to have this acronym for purpose. And so when I break purpose down to get a better understanding of it, of course, we've got to start by prioritizing our self-care. Then we've got to understand our needs. We've got to reflect regularly, practice gratitude, open your heart, seek balance, and engage with love. When you want to tap into your purpose, you have to prioritize your self-care, understand your needs, reflect regularly, practice gratitude, open your heart, seek balance, and engage with love. So let's start to break these things down. All right, we're going to start with P. Prioritize self-care. Can you guys add that to the chat? Prioritize self-care. We know, if y'all been hanging with me for a while now, y'all know self-care is the foundation of us having a purposeful life. It's about taking time to nurture your physical, your mental, and your emotional health, right? It's that holistic healing that we desire. And so many of us get so caught up with our day-to-day life and all of these responsibilities and obligations that we forget to take care of ourselves, right? And so when we have to start to tap into our physical self-care, understanding that those are the things such as staying hydrated, drinking more water, maintaining a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, adequate sleep, right? Because our bodies are the vessels that are carrying us through life. So we've got to take care of our body. We've got to start to love the skin that we're in, which means appreciate our body as it is. It doesn't mean that we don't have goals to improve, but it means that we have to love our bodies as is. We've got to be thankful and grateful for our bodies for what they do for us. What up, best friend? How you doing? So, again, make sure that you are prioritizing your physical self-care. And then we also have a mental self-care, right? So we've got to not only take care of our body in the exterior, we've got to start to engage into these activities that stimulate our mind and start to reduce the level of stress that we have. Now, when we think about mental self-care, these are things like reading, solving puzzles, practicing mindfulness, meditation, things of that nature, right? Grounding yourself, centering yourself, getting those chakras lined up. And so, it's really important to remember to take regular breaks throughout the day, because as you get so caught up with what everyone else is doing and what everybody else needs, you're going to start to forget yourself, right? And so we've got to make sure that we're prioritizing our mental self-care as well. And then we have emotional self-care. So this is another one that I think that kind of falls by the wayside, because we tend to forget that our feelings are valid, that our emotions are valid. And so you have to recognize and honor your emotions. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel and begin to express yourself in healthy ways. And so this, comes into play when we're like speaking to our friends, talking to our family, writing in a journal. Or some of us choose to take an extra step and seek professional help, right? Y'all go out here, y'all get life coaches and therapists, and, we join support groups, so then that way we can unapologetically show up and share this piece of our life to understand how we're feeling and to be able to comfortably process how we feel. So, the key takeaway to prioritizing your self-care is to remind yourself that self-care is not a luxury, that it is an absolute necessity. It is essential for us to pour into ourselves because it is impossible for us to pour from an empty cup. Rich Risings, Tamika, welcome in, Goldie. I see y'all. So please remember, that by prioritizing self-care, we are able to ensure that we are at our best, and then that allows us to show up as the best version of ourselves so we can keep giving them the best that we got, y'all. Okay? So, all right. So again, that P in purpose is for prioritizing self-care. So then we move to the U. The U in purpose is for understand your needs. Can you guys add that to the chat? Understand your needs. Understand your needs. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So understanding your needs involves self-awareness and self-acceptance. It's about knowing what you require to feel fulfilled, balanced, and happy. So in order to understand your needs, you must first identify your needs. All right, you got to recognize what they are. So that means you've got to take some time to reflect on what you need in the different areas of your life. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, right? Remember, we're on this holistic healing journey. So I don't want to just fix one part of my life. I want to holistically heal. I want to tap into every single area and aspect that makes me, me. And so I've got to tap into my physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, social, right? We need all aspects. And so identifying our needs is what's key. When you start to think about this, you have to say, what are your non-negotiables in order for you to have a happy and healthy life, right? What are the things that I absolutely positively have to have in order for me to live a happy and healthy life? And so once you're able to identify these things, then your next step is to communicate your needs, right? So now I know what it is I need, and now I need to tell other people what it is that I need and desire, right? And so once you start to communicate your needs, you want to make sure that you're communicating them effectively to the people who are around you. And this might be, setting boundaries to let them know, hey, I no longer accept this. I no longer identify as such. I no longer want these particular things in my life. It means that, I'm saying, hey, this is my plan. This is what I need. This is what I desire. And if you are going to stay a part of my life, if you are going to stay in this space with me, then this is what I need from you. Or this is what I don't want from you, right? So you've got to be clear with what you say to people. You got to let your yeses be yeses and those no's be no. And remember, no is a complete sentence. And then, so you've identified your needs. Now you've communicated your needs. You've set these boundaries. Now you got to respect your needs. Because what's the point of setting a boundary if you don't respect it, if you're not going to hold on to it, or if you're not going to follow it, right? So Tamika says, I just set a boundary and the person actually got mad. They are no longer allowed in my life. Listen, that part. So what we have to understand is when we set boundaries with people, those boundaries are for us. It is not for them. And so when I set a boundary for someone and I let them know, hey, these are the new rules to be with me, or, because I'm very intentional about who gets to experience me. So if I say, hey, this is the rule for you being in my life, and that person comes out a bag, they want to pop off with me, listen, at this point, I have no choice to believe who you are because that's what you're showing me. So therefore, I'm not going to take my boundary away. I'm not going to say, well, girl, never mind. Come on back over. Come on and bring all the toxic shit back over. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to simply say, okay, well, cool. I said what I said and you felt how you felt. And guess what? It is what it is. And I'm okay with that because I got to protect me. I got to put me first. And so when you set your boundaries and when you're making any sort of lifestyle change and then you have the people around you who don't want to respect those changes, then it's time to let them go. Understand that this season, whatever y'all were in, may be over. And that might be a temporary change or it might be a permanent change. But when you start to truly walking your purpose and you start to make these positive changes and you're tapped in with the universe, and the universe sees that you're doing this work and it knows your heart and it knows that you're doing this work with the best of intentions, sometimes the universe will remove people out of your life. And not all of those people leave your life quietly, but again, that ain't none of my business as long as they go. You know what I'm saying? As long as they go. And so she says, amen, man. Sending him away with love and light. Godspeed. Absolutely. Like, I always try to release people with love. Even if they've done the most messiest, toxic, whatever, you know what? I release you with love. But, you know, at the end of the day, you can't sit here. Right? You just can't sit here anymore. Like, you will no longer occupy space in my mind. No one gets to live rent-free here. Right? So I just let them go. Hey, nice knowing you. I appreciate what you have done. You know? But I would just appreciate that you don't do anything else going forward. Skedaddle. Poof. Be gone. Right? So I mean, again, that's important to identify your needs, to communicate your needs, and then the last piece to that was respect your needs, right? And so as Tamika explained, she set her boundaries. Someone didn't like it. She has released them with love, and that is her respecting her needs, because she could have easily slid backwards, right? Many of us have set a rule, put something in place, and then we backtrack. We slide back in. You know, we in these toxic relationships and we like, I'm too good for you. I'm never coming back to you. And then what happens next weekend? You back in the bed, sliding back into that old comfortable, familiar thing. But we're not doing that no more because it's 2024, right? And we aiming for more. So we're not doing that part no more. So make sure that you're respecting your needs. And, you know, by respecting your needs, it means that you don't ignore or dismiss your needs. And you have to make it a point to prioritize them and begin to start making decisions that align with your well-being. Okay? Remember, we live with purpose. We do on purpose. We do it on purpose, right? So we're not accidentally navigating through life. We are purposely getting through life. And so when we're respecting our needs, this might mean saying no to certain commitments or making lifestyle changes. Okay? It means that we don't accept every single invitation that we get, because some of those invites are for some toxic mess that we have already dismissed, the situations and things that we've let go of. Right, Shorty Red? Welcome in, beautiful. So again, make sure that when you're understanding your needs, that you are taking time to identify, you are taking time to communicate, and you are most certainly respecting your needs. Right? Because if you don't put no respect on the things that you need, no one else is going to show up. We got to save ourselves, y'all. So understanding and honoring your needs is a crucial step towards living a purpose-filled life. Welcome in, Semester. Rich risings to you. So then in the word purpose, we're going to move to the R. Thank you. The R in purpose is for reflect regularly. Add that to the chat for me, y'all. Reflect regularly. It could be a tongue twister if you try to say it fast too many times, y'all. Reflect regularly. So when we reflect regularly, you know, we have to remember that reflection is a very powerful tool that each and every one of us possess the ability to do. It is a powerful tool for personal growth as well as self-improvement. And so when we think about, you know, reflection, it involves looking back on your past experiences, analyzing them, and learning from them. You know, I talk about shadow work all the time because it's a form of reflection. And they have like these handy things such as like shadow work journals and workbooks that can guide you. Because once we start opening Pandora's box, right? Once we start cleaning out these skeletons from our closet, we're going to get distracted, y'all. And so I honestly say whenever you start to really tap into this shadow work, which means, you know, when you think of a shadow, if you're standing and you kind of see your shadow off to the side, that's the work that we want to do. So that other part of us that no one gets to see, It's the things that have happened to us, those things that are dead and gone behind us, but they're still with us for whatever reason. Remember yesterday we talked about a backpack full of rocks, and the rocks represent all the negative things that have happened. So when we start to reflect and you start to tap into this past, for a lot of us, like I said, it's easy to get distracted and to get sucked back into it. And so I really recommend that you try to use, like these shadow work journals and workbooks, or even do so with your therapist. So for those of you who are actively in therapy and you feel like you are ready to start to tackle some of these, old things and get these burdens off of your back, talk to your therapist about doing some shadow work. And many therapists are also skilled in something called brain spotting, which is just a technique that they use to help you tap into things that trigger you. And it's really an amazing opportunity. I actively do shadow work. I spend a lot of time reflecting on my past, because even though my past doesn't define me, it definitely has formed many of my views and opinions on how I do things today. And there are things that I've decided that I wish to unlearn. And so by reflecting regularly, we have the opportunity to unlearn some past things and reprogram our mind to see things a little bit differently. So situations in life where you may have viewed things negatively or a certain way, when you start to do that shadow work and you start to reflect on things, you're able to see the bigger picture and maybe realize that certain things that you believed aren't really as they appeared. And the whole point for me when it comes to reflection is I know better now, so I want to do better now. And I want to break these generational curses, and I want to break these chains that are holding me down. And in order to do that, I've got to recognize where it started. So that way I can recognize that behavior going forward and not keep that same energy. So, when we think about reflecting, you can have daily reflection where you set aside a few minutes each day just to reflect on your experiences and your feelings. Ask yourself the questions: what went well? What could have gone better? What did I learn today? You can have weekly or monthly reflection where you spend a little more time taking a deeper dive into your experiences over a more extended period. Reflect on your goals, your progress, your challenges. Ask yourself, am I moving in the direction that I want to? Right? So I'm going to stand back and I'm going to look at the bigger picture. And then, another way that you can start to reflect regularly and make it a habit, because we like to do these things over and over again. So that way it becomes a lifestyle change. We're not on this self-care journey because self-care is trending. We're not doing it for the likes and the views. We're doing it for the healing. We're doing it for the purpose. We're doing it for the happiness, right? So another easy way to get started in reflecting is to begin journaling. Keeping a journal can be a great way for you to facilitate reflection. It allows you to write down your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences. And then over time, this can start to help you identify certain patterns or trends that are happening in your life. So that way, for some of us, we can't seem to figure out why things keep happening, why this cycle keeps repeating itself over and over again. But if you start to keep a journal, and then let's say you keep this journal, and then once you finish the book, you start to go back and you start to reflect what was happening. I always tell people to add pictures or a smiley face to describe your mood. Or for those of you, if you're like me, I love writing with different colored pens. And so the color pen that I choose to write in my journal with also reflects my mood. So for example, if I'm angry, I would probably grab a red pen, right? And I would write the passage in red. So when I get back to that and I recognize, ooh, this was a rough day for me. If I was sad or depressed, I would probably grab like a black or a gray, a blue. But then if I felt like I was on target and that I was doing something good, I would choose yellow, like the sunshine, green, like the grass, maybe a brighter shade of blue instead of a darker shade of blue, things like that. Or like I said, you guys can invest in some stickers. You could use digital journals, things like that. Just whatever resonates with you and keeps you accountable. But then that way, when you take the time to go back, I don't necessarily have to read the whole passage, but I can recognize a pattern that every time I get around this particular person, I got to come home and write something in red. because I'm angry. Or every time I attend this type of function, I come back and everything that I write seems dark. Because now these people have drained me so much that now all of a sudden, like, my cup is empty. Or I noticed several days that I didn't write. I was not accountable. I was distracted. So now I can see a pattern in my behavior, because again, it all starts with accountability. So I can't blame everybody else. It's me who keeps allowing these people in my life. But the only way that I'm going to be able to recognize the pattern is if I spend time reflecting on everything that is happening. So I encourage you guys to tap into this reflection, so that way it allows you to stay connected to your purpose. And remember to make adjustments as you need to. All right? So when you recognize a pattern of behavior that you're not comfortable with, that doesn't align with what your goals are, then start to make a shift. Start to make an adjustment as needed. And like I said, sometimes that's removing people. Sometimes that means you don't go to certain places anymore. And it definitely means we're not doing certain things anymore. All right? Because we know better, so we're doing better. Thank you, Mr. T. I appreciate you. Kim Brill, welcome in, love. All right, so then we jump to the second P in purpose. Practice gratitude. Y'all type that in the chat for me. Practice gratitude. And what better way to practice gratitude on this Thankful Thursday than to say we are thankful and grateful for every single thing that we have, right? Thankful and grateful. Gratitude is the practice of recognizing and appreciating the good things that you have in your life. It shifts your focus from what you're lacking to what you have an abundance of, fostering a more positive mindset. For my pessimistic people out there, don't worry, there's help for you. And you can do it yourself, right? You start to tap into different resources. They have a variety of tools out there, including some books that you could just get and read on your own. So we have like The Power of Positive Thinking, or we have The Magic of Thinking Big, right? So these are just two examples of books that you can get and start to walk yourself through, because we saving ourselves. So let's help ourselves, right? And there are plenty of other books. So I mean, if you're a person who tends to be negative by nature, and you find yourself being a little more pessimistic, like, don't beat yourself up. Understand that there's just some shifts that need to take place. So that way you can start to foster a more positive mindset. There's just some limiting beliefs that you might be holding on to that it's time to just let go of. And so when we think of ways on how to start to foster a more attitude of gratitude, I'm going to say something that we've already said again, but it's definitely key. Having an attitude of gratitude, a very easy way to do it is to get you a gratitude journal, right? It could be a little book like this. You can get you just a regular notebook, okay? But a gratitude journal gives you the opportunity every day to, let's say, write down 3 things that you're grateful for, right? It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be anything grand. You can say, I'm thankful and grateful that I woke up in my right mind today. I am thankful and grateful that I had clean clothes to wear today. I am thankful and grateful for this iced coffee that my husband made me today, because I was tired and I didn't feel like going downstairs and making it, but I needed a little pick-me-up, and he heard me, right? So I'm thankful and grateful for that. Those 3 things right there can help carry me through my day. And it helps me to start to formulate this attitude of gratitude. It starts to shift your focus from, again, the things that you're missing to the things that you have. And so a gratitude journal can be, a very simple practice that makes a huge impact in your life. And then expressing gratitude. So it has to be more than just saying, oh, I'm thankful for this. No, we've got to start to express our gratitude. So we've got to take the time to thank other people for their kindness and support. So when you encounter someone and they pour into your life and they make a positive impact, you want to say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for taking the time to hear me earlier. I know that I was venting about some things that were going on, but I really helped. Thank you for the help that you gave me simply by listening, right? Or I want to tell someone, you know, I'm gonna call my husband when I get finished, and I'm gonna let him know, you know, I know that you really didn't feel like making me that coffee today, but I really appreciate you. And this is the best cup of all, y'all. Every day going forward is always the best cup of all. You know, because you gotta pour into people who pour into you, right? So it doesn't matter that this cup tastes the same as the cup yesterday. Every day is the best cup. I always think about, thank you, First Lady. I always think about this story my pastor told us one day. And he was saying how, talking about how we have to express gratitude for things. And so he told us this story, and he was like, you know, he likes to go and wash his car. And so one day he said he was out in the yard and he was washing his car, and his wife came outside and was like, ooh, okay, I see how you detailing your car or whatever. That looks really nice. And so she was like, you know, I never get my car clean like that. And so he was like, well, next time I'm out here, baby, I'm gonna wash your car for you. So she's like, oh, thank you. Cause you know, she done hyped him up, right? So, so he starts washing her car, and she comes outside, and he said, now this could have went one of two ways, right? If he didn't detail her car, clean her car. Now imagine if she walked out that door and was like, okay, you know, no compliment, no pouring into him, no nothing. He was like, that'd have been the last time I washed that lady's car, right? But he said, you know, she came outside and she was like, oh my God, baby, my car ain't never been this clean. Baby, them tires are shiny. Did you put that tire wet on them tires? He's like, yeah, I did. She's like, oh my God, the windows are so clean. I don't think it was this clean when I bought it. And he was like, yeah, you know, I did a little extra. I put a little vinegar and water on the windows, you know. They ain't no streaks on them windows. And I used a little Armor All on your dash. So, you know, she's like, oh my God, like she's really pouring into it. And he was like, y'all, this lady had me out here washing her car every week just because I needed her to hype me back up, right? So when we think about expressing gratitude towards people, you know, if you feel like there are people around you who aren't pouring into your life, or that energy or gratitude, or, you know, those gifts that they were bringing to you, if you feel like you start to see those things decline, maybe you're not pouring into them enough. Maybe you're not showing them that you're thankful and that you're grateful for the things. So when people do little things for you, you know, it's the little things that should make a big deal. That should be a big impact in your life. Brooks, welcome in, love. Hey, DJ Big, I see you. DJ D Below. No, D Low. Yeah, I said D Below, my bad. No Fear, No Doubt Life Coaching, welcome in. So again, make sure that when people do little things to pour into your life, when people do little things just to make your day a little bit brighter, make sure that you're giving them big energy, right? Make sure that you're being thankful and grateful. This will help to strengthen your relationship with them, and it will help you to create a positive environment around you. If a person shows me gratitude, I'm more apt to want to come back and keep doing more. But if I give the gift of even nothing but time to a person and I don't see that they've appreciated it, then listen, that's probably the last little piece of time that I'm gonna give them, right? Because I don't want to enable somebody's bad behavior. I don't want to enable somebody's ungrateful behavior. So, you know, just make sure that you're focusing on the positivity as well. You know, during challenging times, make sure that you're making a conscious effort to focus on, you know, the things that you're grateful for, right? So when things aren't really going your way, when life gets to life in and you find yourself being down, don't stay there in it. Don't sit there in it. Figure out what did go right. So even if you wake up and you are having the worst of days, you woke up, which should make today another good day. Now, after I woke up and I stepped out the bed, maybe things got to thinking in a negative way, y'all. And I can still reflect back to say, well, I woke up feeling good. Now, when I left the house, I had a series of unfortunate events. But now that I'm back home, I can also be thankful that I survived it. I can also be thankful and grateful that I made it through another day where any of the weapons that were formed against me failed to prosper. So have an attitude of gratitude. You know, start to write down the things that you're thankful for. Start to express your gratitude to people and make it a priority to focus on positivity. Choose positivity on purpose, y'all. Okay? Because practicing gratitude can really transform your perspective, and it'll help you to enhance your overall sense of purpose. So then we move to the O in purpose. Open your heart. You guys put that in the chat. Open your heart. Open your heart. Hey, Shan, welcome in, beautiful. Hey, Shay, I see you. Open your heart. Yes, open your heart. Opening your heart means being open to love, being open to kindness, and being open to compassion. It involves you forming deep connections with other people and fostering a sense of community and belonging. So, how do we open our heart? We start with acts of kindness. Engage in acts of kindness, no matter how small. This might be helping a neighbor, volunteering, or simply just being there for a friend in need. Acts of kindness. Build relationships with people. Spend time or invest time, right? We're not spending it, we're investing it. Because you spend time when you're just randomly doing things just to do it. You invest time when you purposely and intentionally do things. When you're intentional about your moves, you're investing time. When you're just, out here living just to live, you're spending time. So I want you guys to invest time and support and building and nurturing relationships with others. You've got to be open to form new connections and deepening the existing connections, right? We've got to reconnect with the people in our lives and spend time nurturing these relationships with people. Another thing that we have to do in order to open our hearts is to practice empathy. Now, I'm not telling everybody to run out and say, I'm an empath, because us empaths don't want to run around saying I'm an empath. But each and every one of us have the ability to practice empathy. By practicing empathy, it means that you try to understand and share the feelings of others. Thank you. Practicing empathy means listening actively and responding to people with compassion. Practicing empathy allows us to create stronger and more meaningful relationships. So I'm not saying that I need to sympathize with the person. I'm not saying that as people were talking, I'm like, well, I'm so sorry for you. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that you're going through that. No, I don't need you to be sorry for it. Empathy means you can feel how this person would feel. It doesn't mean you agree with how they feel. But when we're going through things in life and then I express what I'm going through in life, in order for you to empathize, you have to see yourself potentially going through that. Right? You don't have to have experienced the same loss, or you might not be going through the same situation that I am, but you understand that I am going through that situation. Okay? So empathy allows you the opportunity to open your heart, which enriches your life and the lives of those around you. So again, open your heart. So then we get to the S in purpose, which is for seek balance. Seek balance. Add that to the chat for me. Seek balance. Yes, thank you. Seek balance. So balance is essential for living a harmonious life. In order to find this balance that we seek, you have to start to allocate your time and energy in ways that meet your needs and supports your well-being. So remember, we're not spending time. Spending time means we're just putting it out, right? I don't want to waste my time. When I spend my time with someone, it's just something to do, right? I want to invest my time. So I want you guys to invest your time and invest your energy in ways that meet your needs. So anything that I do, when I invest my time in something, when I show up somewhere, when I do something, I'm getting something else out of it, right? And everything I do, I want it to be an energy exchange. So when I show up to an event, I need to know that me being here made a difference. That I was more than just a body in the room, right? Or a body in a chair. I want to make sure that my presence is a gift. Because if my presence is not a gift, then I will not be present. Because I've reached a point in my life where I'm seeking investments. I've wasted enough time over the years, right? We've given away too much of ourselves over the years. And so I'm reclaiming my time. So if you're going to seek balance, you've got to make sure that you're practicing this work-life balance, right? Whether you are self-employed, whether you work for someone else, make sure that you have enough time for work, family, hobbies, and rest. You've got to set boundaries in order to protect your personal time and avoid burnout. So make sure that you are practicing a work-life balance. And that's especially for my people who are self-employed, because listen, I know the struggle. We get so wrapped up in doing work. We get so focused in whatever project that we're doing, whatever event that we are hosting, whatever, content we are creating. We get so wrapped up in it that we tend to forget about the people who we support, the people who support us, right? So make sure that you are allocating your time, that you are investing your time wisely. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you look at it, it is only 24 hours in each day. There is nothing you can do to speed it up. There is nothing you can do to slow it down. Even when you stop moving, time keeps moving. Okay? So have a work-life balance. Have a holistic approach to the things that you do. Balance different aspects of your life, including your physical health, your mental well-being, your emotional fulfillment, and your spiritual growth. Remember, we're not healing one area of our life. I always laugh when I take on new clients. And when we have that first meeting, I'm always asking people, why now? What led you to want to, start coaching now? Why do you want to life coach now, right? And so everybody comes in and they try to say the things that they think I want to hear, right? And I'm like, it's not about me, it's about you. Like I got a life coach. Babe, I got a therapist, right? So I don't need you to tell me what I want to hear. Like, it's not why we're here. So people will come in and they're like, because I want to fix this piece of my life. Like, I just want to work on this. Yeah, I got all of this happening, but I just wanted to work on this. And I'm like, that's cute. But do you understand that the everything else happening is why you have to focus on this? So if we talk about all of this will easily be taken care of, because this right here is little. I'm focused on the big picture, right? So you got to have a holistic approach. You want to heal all areas of your life. And then you need to sit back and have regular assessments. Regularly assessing the situation, or even, just a periodic assessment of your life, allows you to ensure that you're maintaining balance. Right? So with many of my new clients, we do a self-care wheel. And on this self-care wheel, I will break down several different areas of your life. So we'll talk about, your relationships. We'll talk about job, money, your spiritual self-care, your community, your social life. We break down all of these different areas of our life, and I make my clients rank them on a scale of, 0 to 10. How do you feel? 10 being the best, 0 being the worst, or 1 being the worst, I guess. And so everybody has to go through and start to analyze all of these pieces of their life. And I know that, when I have this first encounter with people, everybody comes in focused on one of the 10 things that they got going on. And I'm like, tell me the other 10, because those other 9 things that you're not telling me about are the reason why this one is such a burden, such an issue for you. So you want to make sure that you are regularly assessing the situation, so that way you're able to make adjustments as needed so you can stay aligned. with your purpose, and you can stay aligned with the things that you actually value and what is actually important to you. So remember, seeking balance helps us to stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Seeking balance allows you to invest your time instead of spending or wasting it. Okay? So then the last letter in purpose is E. Engage with love. Type engage with love for me, please. Engage with love. Engage with love. Engaging with love means approaching life and your daily interactions with others from a place of love and understanding. It's about showing love to yourself and others in meaningful ways. So, a lot of people ask me how, when I'm met with negative energy, like let's just think about me being a content creator, live streaming, right? And so we get trolls that come in, or we get negative energy that comes in. And everybody's like, Coach, you're so grateful with the clapback. Like you got them together, but it was such a teachable moment, right? So that is because I engage people with love. Now, it doesn't mean that you're still not fitting to get the business, that I'm still not about to set my boundaries, or, you might still get a little curse out. But I'm going to do so in a manner that sends you out the door with love. I release with love, right? So in all things that I do, I try to approach life and all of my interactions with other people from a place of love and understanding. So, sometimes when people come to you and they bring you negative energy, I'm able to empathize with them and understanding that, their life right now is just miserable. And unfortunately, the sadness of it is, when people, especially like during my live streams, when people come into my live streams and then they try to spread their toxic energy or they want to start some mess. For me, I'm like, it must be pretty sad not to recognize that this is a safe space, right? Or I understand that they don't have people supporting them. They're surrounded by people who enable them to do their bad behavior. And so even though I don't agree with what the person is doing, and I may have zero intentions of allowing them to remain in my space to disrupt me, I'm going to release them with love, from a place of love, knowing that it must be pretty freaking miserable not to have the same love and support, not to recognize the love that I'm giving, right? When people come into our space, during our morning streams, and, they're the DOPs, right? We call those disruptors of peace. So when the DOPs pull up and they try to spread negative energy, I'm like, damn, your life is so bad that you don't even recognize the good when you see it. You know what I'm saying? So I, try to make sure that I'm engaging people from a place of love. Even if they're not serving me positive energy, I try to send them out the door with the last little piece of positive energy I'm going to give them, and I keep it moving. Okay? I keep it moving. So, and that's also me showing myself love and grace, because then if I stop doing what I'm doing and I all of a sudden start to engage this negative energy, then guess what? I fueled their fire. And now, not only have I allowed the DOP to disrupt my peace, but now I done let him disrupt the whole piece of my space. So I done started the live stream telling y'all, hey, good morning. I'm Little Miss Peace and Positivity. How y'all doing? And then all of a sudden, somebody comes in and I let them ruin the whole vibe. Why? Why would I do that? It's so much so now that most of it, I don't even engage with it, right? I see it, whatever, I keep it moving. Right? We're not going to give them no intention. I give a certain look, my admins and moderators are like, not today, Satan. You got to go. They just shoo them out the door. We don't have to put on no grand thing and be like, block this person, do this, do that. Because now y'all's peace is disrupted. Now, for the people who had walked away from their phone for a minute, they rushing right back over because now you want to be nosy. Because y'all not used to toxic stuff over here. So the moment something toxic pop off, y'all like, let me scroll back. What I miss? Who said what? Let me go look. No, so we don't even give them the time of day. We don't spend time on them. We invest our time in using certain tools like mute, kick out, block, remove, delete, right? So when people serve me negative energy, I'm not gonna pop off. I'm not gonna lose character. I'm not gonna get knocked out the book of lambs, baby. Okay? I don't work too hard to get to where I am today, so I'm just gonna release them with love. I'm not gonna let the disruptors disrupt my peace, right? So when we think about engaging with love, we have to also think about self-love. We know that self-love is the best love, right? So you've got to practice self-acceptance, positive self-talk. Make sure that you're treating yourself with kindness and compassion, recognizing your worth and your potential. Okay? Talk to yourself nice. Talk to me nice. I'm going to look in the mirror and be like, girl, your hair crazy today, but you cute. Girl, I see you. You know, you get out that shower, and some of us, we working on our body positivity. So I get out that shower and I'm drying off, and I be like, woo, we gotta work on this little arm right here, y'all. It's a little jiggly. We gotta work on that. Right? Put your little dress on, your little fit, you look back. You know, you might not see nothing when you look back at it, but honey, look back at it anyway. It's there. It's there. Because everything is as it's supposed to be. So love yourself. Yes, talk to me nice, Kale says. Love on yourself. So then, once you get that self-love mastered, once you can say nice things to yourself, I want y'all to take that out, because we're not gatekeepers. We don't hold on to things. We continue to share this message, right? So love is the gift that keeps on giving. Welcome in, Lady Blue. Love is the gift that keeps on giving. So now that I've got this self-love down pat, let me go out here and love on some other people, right? Because now I'm serving more positive energy. I'm not negative no more, right? So now that I'm serving more positive energy and I love me and I'm ready to engage with love, now I'm going to start to go love on others. And I'm going to invest time, not spend. I need y'all to get that. I need y'all to pick that up. I'm going to invest time and effort into my relationships with other people. And I'm going to start to show love through my actions, through my words, and with my presence. Because I'm investing time, which means my presence is a gift to you. Because I'm highly intentional who gets to experience me. Because I'm not for everybody, y'all. I'm not for everybody. I'm not for the streets. Right? I don't do it for the gram. So I'm going to invest my time and I'm going to invest my efforts into relationships with others that I have a mutual exchange with. That if I'm bringing something to the table, that they're also putting something on the table. Hell, if I'm bringing the table, they got something to put on it. We need a balance. We need an energy exchange. And because I serve positivity, I need positive energy back. So I'm going to invest my time and invest my efforts into my relationship with others. I'm going to act with love. See, in every single thing that I do, you've got to let love be your guiding principle. This allows you to create a positive impact in your life and the lives of those around you. So with every single thing that we do, we've got to do it with love. And that also means releasing people, dismissing people, forgiving people. Right? You've got to do it with love. If nothing else, for the love of yourself. Sometimes you got to let people go because you love you that much. I love myself that much that I just got to let you go, honey. I can't let you keep showing up and hurting me. Or I love myself so much I got to quit this job because it's draining me. It's taking away too much from me. Or I love myself enough that I'm not going to keep showing up and allowing you to disrespect me or allowing you to hurt me, because I love me too much to allow me to be treated in the manner that you're treating me. So understand that engaging with love is the essence of living a purposeful life, a purpose-filled life. I don't want a piece of purpose, y'all. I want everything to have purpose. So in conclusion, living a purposeful life is an ongoing journey that is going to require your commitment and your effort. By prioritizing your self-care, understanding your needs, reflecting regularly, practicing gratitude, opening your heart, okay, seeking balance, and engaging with love, that's purpose. And that allows us to begin to create lives that are not only fulfilling, but also deeply meaningful. Remember, purpose is not a destination, okay? It is a way of being. So understand that it's all about making choices for yourself, for your life, that align with your values and your aspirations. If it doesn't mean anything for me, if it's not going to elevate me to the next level of my life, I'm not doing it. You know, I keep telling y'all that my presence is a gift. That should tell you that I have so much value on me, right? I know my worth and I've added tax to it. So much so to say that I don't show up anywhere where I'm not appreciated, where I'm not valued. So if I show up somewhere and I don't get that energy that I need to let me know that somebody in here wants me here for more than just being a seat, a person in the seat, then I'm not there. So I encourage each and every one of you to make sure that your presence is a gift to the people that you are present for. Okay? We understand that it's about making choices that align with our values and our aspirations. So if I'm not getting something from this, then I'm not wasting my time with this. If it is not educating me, if it is not aligning with me, if it is not enlightening me, empowering me, I'm not there. I'm not watching it. I'm not buying it. I'm not entertaining it, because I don't give it. And every single thing that I do, life for me is one huge teachable moment. When I'm talking to people, I try to make sure that I have something positive to pour into them. Mama said, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all, y'all. And I like to talk. Okay? So it is my purpose in life to make sure that I have something positive to give. And I typically have something positive to give for everyone. It's just not everyone is open to positivity. And at that point, then I can no longer invest my time in you because you want me to spend my time on you. And I don't have time to spend, because we understand that tomorrow isn't promised. So I don't have time to spend on people. But I will invest my time in those who are appreciative and those who appreciate my presence. I got all the time in the world for them. So I really hope that these insights that we've discussed today inspire each and every one of you to embark on your own journey of purpose, and start living a life that is more purposeful. Like a more purposeful life, I guess. We've got to really start to embrace our purpose and start to really make the most of every moment, because like I said, y'all, tomorrow's not promised. All right? So we really have to start appreciating what we have, not, whining and crying about the things that we don't have, not spending all of our time focused on things that we want to change, or, what we wish we had, or trying to keep up with other people. We've got to understand that everything happens naturally and that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Okay? So it doesn't matter that the people around me have achieved, such high goals, but here I am still sitting here. Doesn't matter. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I trust the process. I understand that it's not my will, but it's the will of God, right? So I trust the process. And I'm going to just stay the course, and I'm going to trust the process, because I know that what's for me is for me. Right? And if I see all the people around me who are getting blessed, then guess what? Duh, God in the neighborhood, I might be next. Let me get ready. My house might be the next house that's going to receive a blessing. Let me clean up a little bit. Let me get some things together. And if today wasn't the day that I received that blessing, well, at least the house clean. So tomorrow I got one less thing to clean up, because God's still in the neighborhood. Because listen, my neighbors is over here getting upgrades, y'all. I'm next. Let me clean out this closet real quick. Let me take some of these rocks out this bag. Right? Let me start to make sure that I'm doing some work on me, and that I'm pouring into me. So that way, listen, when it's my time, and it's, you know, the universe is ready to say, okay, Shantae, here go your blessing, I need room to carry it. Because that blessing is going to come with a new test. I'm not going to be blessed and all of a sudden I ain't got no mess, no stress. No. I'm going to get blessed, and it's going to be a hater waiting to test me. Right? I'm going to be blessed with the new car, only to leave the dealership and be stuck in traffic. So as soon as I get a blessing, I already know another test comes with it. So I'm real careful about what I ask the universe for. You know, sometimes when I sit back and I'm praying for things, you know, sometimes I'm like, well, you know, God, you know what I need. You know what's for me, Lord. So give me what you know I need. You know, I'm not gonna be out here like a little kid with the service merchandise catalog asking Jesus for everything. You know my heart. You know what I need. Just go on and give it to me when you're ready, right? I'm gonna take a little time with it. I'm gonna let it marinate, you know, and at most I'm asking for guidance, right? I'm asking for endurance. I'll be asking for strength. I don't ask for patience no more, cause y'all, I used to make the mistake of praying for patience. Being a single mom when my son was growing up, I would listen, y'all. He would take me through it, honey. Okay, we done made it past that, but y'all, when I reflect, sometimes I think about how my son, when he was 2 or 3, used to take me through it, honey. And so I would always go up there when we would go to church on Sundays. We would go up and we would go up for prayer. And so I was always praying for patience, because I wanted to lose my shit every single time with this kid, y'all. I was being tested, and I couldn't understand it. And so I kept looking up these prayers for patience. And up until this particular Sunday, y'all, I have faithfully prayed for patience. So I go up, and the young lady gets ready to pray over me, and she's like, what's going on, right? So, y'all, I am an emotional wreck, because this was a really bad day for us. And I had a really trying week with my son. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm praying for patience, and maybe I'm not getting it right. And so she laughs. Y'all, I am in tears. We're in the front of the church. It is a huge, like, the church is big. Everybody seemed to come to church like it was Easter Sunday that day or something. And I'm up here, second service, y'all, because first service is one thing, but that second service be everything. Because, you know, us people, we be wanting to get up at 11 o'clock and go to church on Sunday instead of 9 a.m. like we should have. But anyways, I digress. I'm up here, and I am crying. I am in tears. And I'm trying to hold on to this little boy's hand, because he's still cutting up. You know, last Sunday, he done got put out of Sunday school. So I can't even send him over here with the kids no more, because he cutting up so bad. Y'all, I was that parent whose baby name just scrolled across the screen. Could the parents of Kyrie come to the Sunday school? Oh, sweet Jesus. Why you got to put me on blast like this, little boy? Why do I got to see my son's name scrolling across the sanctuary, y'all? It was embarrassing. I tried to wait a second. I didn't want to get up. I tried to wait till somebody else got up to go to the bathroom, so then y'all didn't know that I was the mama of the heathen. Anywho, so this following Sunday, I'm up here, y'all, for them to pray for me. And I'm like, I'm praying for patience. Like, I need help. Like, I need you to intercede. Can you go to God on my behalf and tell him I need an extra dose of patience? And God is giving you that because you ain't hurt him. He's still right here. So you've been patient. She was like, patience is not what you need. What you need to pray for is for strength and the endurance, the will to keep going. Okay? And so I'm looking at her. So now I'm laughing because it dawns on me, you're absolutely right. God made me patient. I have not abused my child. I have not beat my child. I have not given up my child. So I've been as patient as I'm ever going to be. I needed endurance. I needed the willpower and the desire and the strength to keep going. So I let her pray over me. And then I had a conversation with her. And this woman enlightened me. And at the time, like I said, you guys, at this point, I was a single mom raising this toddler boy, dealing with, for those of you who don't know, my child is adopted. And so I had to deal with the biological family and the mess that was coming with that. And, you know, just trying to navigate motherhood, being a new mom, right? By myself. And I'm in school full time at this point. I'm working full time. Like, I had a lot on me. And so in talking to her, you know, I'm naming all of these things. And she's like, I work full time. I'm in the military. I'm a single mom because my kid's father passed away. And she had 3 sons who all varied in age. And, you know, so I listened to her and I listened to her explain her story. And she was about to graduate, you know, whatever program of study she was in at that point. But I listened to this lady give her testimony to me. And all of my problems seemed so small. And everything that I was dealing with this one child, she was dealing with times 3. And like me, we didn't have an option of a daddy at that point. You know what I mean? And so I was able to understand that sometimes it's what we ask the universe for. So I'm really careful with the things that I pray for. And I'm really careful when it comes to, you know, the things that I ask for, because I know that whatever I ask for, the universe is going to give me. I just know that there's going to be some sort of lesson that has to come with it. And if it's not for me, I'm not getting it, because what's for me is for me. And there's no one who can take that from me. So if the universe has decided that this is what I'm going to go through, no matter what I do, that's what I'm going to go through. I can duck, I can dodge, I can try to hide, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go through it. At some point, you got to get through it. So, you know, make sure that you are being really mindful of the things that you're asking for. And that's with your prayer, you know, when we think about spirituality, but it's also with the people in your life, your loved ones, your relationships, your children, your families, your friends. Make sure you're careful in what you're asking people for, because, you know, when people show up, if you're asking someone to show up and support you, you got to give them something to support. You know, when I think about being a content creator, I want people to show up to my live streams and I want people to engage, but I need to be careful because I don't need a million bodies in here just sitting and staring. So when I ask people to show up, I want you to show up for what aligns with you, something that resonates with you, which means I've got to have something to talk about. I can't have this expectation of growing as a content creator and not creating content that compels people to attend. Right? I can't just push the button with an expectation that, oh, I'm going to be the next trending topic, because I actually don't want to be a trending topic. Okay? So be careful in what it is that you ask for. Make sure that every single thing that you are doing with purpose, and that you are doing it on purpose. Make sure as you are giving your time to other people that you are investing your time, that there is some sort of exchange taking place. I don't want people to show up in my live stream with the expectation that I'm going to show up in theirs. I want people to show up in my live stream because they're receiving the knowledge and information that I'm giving. Me coming back and showing up in theirs should just be a bonus. Right? So you want to make sure that you are investing your time wisely. You want to make sure that you are being very intentional about who you allow to experience you, because everybody is not worthy of you. All right, everybody is not ready to receive who you are and your awesomeness. So be very intentional about who you allow to experience you. And that's mentally, that's physically, that is emotionally, socially, and every single holistic thing that makes you you. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. All right, so that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that the word purpose has taken on a new meaning for you. Like I said, we've broken down purpose to understand that prioritizing our self-care, understanding our needs, reflecting regularly, practicing gratitude, opening our hearts, seeking balance, and engaging others with love. All right, that's how we move towards living a more purpose-filled life. So I thank you guys. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap up about purpose, or how to, get on the right path to purpose? Thank you so much, Dizzy Baby. I appreciate you. Any questions as we wrap up today? Well, if anybody does have any questions, like I said, feel free to put them in the chat. You guys can also inbox me and ask me your questions as well. I just ask that if you inbox me, allow 24 hours for a response. If you are interested in catching this live stream on replay, make sure you head over to YouTube, tap in the @ symbol and Life Coach 614 and give me a follow. We are working to get all of these replays uploaded for you. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, again, at Life Coach 614, and hit the bell, you'll receive notifications directly from YouTube when new content is uploaded. And I really thank each and every one of you for investing your time in me today. Thank you so much for the attention that you've shared with me and the engagement. I want each and every one of you to understand that your presence is a gift that I truly value. And I also appreciate the gifts that you guys have chosen to share. All of your support during our live stream directly benefits the Self-Care Club LLC, allowing us to continue to show up each day and make a positive impact in our community. Your generosity with your gifts and your live stream subscriptions fuel our mission, and it allows us to keep coming back and doing what we do each day. Hey Slim, welcome in, beautiful. For those of you who are interested in finding out additional information about the Self-Care Club, if you want to tap into the homework and, go over this content again, feel free to do so. Or if you are ready to book a personalized one-on-one life coaching session with me, head over to selfcareclub.org for more details. Again, it is selfcareclub.org. We have plenty of free resources available. We do also have merchandise available for you guys to purchase to help you with your self-care journey. And last but not least, I absolutely hope to see each and every one of you again here for our next live coaching session. So if we are not friends already, make sure you give me a follow. I want you to come back and join us. We meet weekdays, so Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, I thank each and every one of you for being here. I hope that you guys have an amazing day on purpose, filled with purpose, and keep spreading that positivity, you guys. Thank you.